Good morning. How are you doing today? I'm Shannon, and I wanted to talk to you about something today that I'm finding. I've been talking to a lot of people recently. I've been doing a lot of market research interviews, and one thing that I found that's coming up for people as a common theme is something called imposter syndrome. So I wanted to talk to you about it, and then we're going to do an exercise to start to work through some of these issues. So the term imposter syndrome, I know a lot of people are not familiar with it, and I'm not very surprised. I think that's sort of a jargon that certain groups of people use. So what it is basically is you feel like an imposter. You feel like you're a fraud, and this applies oftentimes it applies to women and men. In the context of, let's say you work a job and you have a high paying position, you think, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not qualified for this, I don't know how I got this position, I'm gonna get found out, that kind of thing. If you own your own business, I see it play out a lot for people that they have an extremely difficult time charging for their services and charging what they actually want to charge. And they have this feeling of, everybody else knows more than I do. I'm going to look stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what to do. What else? They just feel inferior. And so what happens a lot of times, what I see is people go from course to course, class to class, certification to certification, thinking this is it. This will give me what I need, and then I can really do this. And what happens is you never really end up putting yourself out there. You never end up really sharing your special gifts with the world. So this is a really, really common thing that people feel. And so I just want to tap with you guys for a few minutes on that. So if you're new to tapping, you're just going to follow with me. We're going to tap on these different Chinese meridian points, and you can just repeat after me. If there's something else that comes up very strongly for you, you can go ahead and use those words. If I say something that doesn't really resonate, you can feel free to substitute. If you find a point, a phrase, something like that you connect with really strongly, that really resonates, that perhaps brings up a lot of emotion, I would encourage you to stay there. Either come back and do this video again, or just potentially maybe even keep repeating whatever that phrase is. And I do encourage you to do this, I won't say repetitively, but repeatedly, because you're gonna find as you start to move these feelings, as you start to move this energy, you're gonna connect with different things. You might feel different things in your body. You might feel different emotions. So I want you just to take a couple minutes if you can. Turn off your phone. It's just going to be a few minutes. If you have something to jot down right now, I would say go ahead and grab a pen and a paper. And I want you to just close your eyes for a moment and notice when you think about this. I'm a fraud. I'm an imposter. How strongly do you feel it on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being the least, 10 being the most. And I want you to jot that number down. I also want you to notice what feelings it brings up in you. For a lot of people, it brings up anxiety, frustration, maybe fear. Maybe there's some sadness in there. Just notice what those emotions are as best as you can. And it's okay if you have a hard time naming them. That's not uncommon. And go ahead and jot down again the number, how strongly each of those feelings feels on that scale of 1 to 10, like sadness or anger. How strongly do you feel? 1 being the least, 10 being the most, okay? And we're just going to jump in and we are going to start tapping. So let's go. We'll just start on what they call the karate chop point. Even though I'm not as far along as I'd like to be, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though sometimes I don't feel like I know what I'm doing, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling a lot of feelings in my body right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And we're going to start tapping through the points just inside the inner eyebrow here. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And it makes me feel really scared. I'm worried that people are going to find out that I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I shouldn't even be charging money for this. Nobody would pay me a dime if they really knew. If they really knew that I had no idea what I'm doing. You can keep your eyes open or closed. This brings up a lot of anxiety in my body. I feel like a fraud. I feel like everybody's staring at me. And I'm going to fall flat on my face. And so honestly, it's easier not to even put myself out there. I don't even want to think about what would happen if everybody knew how totally unqualified I am. Oh my gosh, I'd be so embarrassed. This is so embarrassing. I can't charge money for this. I have no idea what I'm doing. People would laugh if they knew. I'd have to hide my face. It would be so embarrassing. And so I can't charge for my services. I can't charge much money if I do. I can only ask for a little bit. Because I don't deserve to be paid well for this. This is a joke. I have no idea what I'm doing. And all of these feelings are running through my body, running through my nervous system. I can feel it right now. All of this fear and anxiety, sadness. I can feel it all. And the main feeling that I'm feeling in my body right now is, and go ahead and fill in the blank. What are you feeling right now? It's coming up so strongly in my body. I can feel it. And notice in your body where you're having these physical feelings. I feel it in my belly, or my heart, or my chest. My heart is beating so fast when I think about standing up in front of a group of people and telling them that I'm an expert. When I think about saying how much money I charge for this, I get so anxious. I need to do more before I'm ready to put myself out there. I need to take another class. I need to get certified. I need someone else to show me the way until things are just perfect, and then I'll be ready. But I know that's never going to happen. I know things are never going to be perfect. I know things are never going to be just right. And so I honor all of these feelings in my body, all of this fear, all of this anxiety, the sadness. Maybe I'm feeling some grief. And I'm telling myself that it's safe to allow these feelings to be seen. Even if I can just see the tip of the iceberg, I'm willing to look. It's safe to let just a little bit come to the surface. How much are you ready to come up? What percentage? I'm ready to let, fill in the blank, percent of these difficult feelings rise up to the surface right here and right now. I'm willing to look. And I'm willing to honor these difficult feelings. because they're a beautiful part of me. Whether I've been able to recognize that before or not. I know that I am a whole human person with all kinds of feelings, with light and shadow. And I'm open to honoring every single part of my being right now. And as I do, I allow some of these difficult emotions to release. Gently and easily, just to pass right out of my body, with no need to relive them, no need for any drama. I'm ready to release, and fill in the blank. What percentage are you ready to release? I'm letting it go right now. And if you're ready to let it all go, I'm ready to let it all go right now. And I'm open to seeing myself in a whole new light. I'm seeing myself in a whole different way right now. And I realize that I have so much to offer to the world. I have so many special gifts that I've kept to myself. I've learned so many things. And I have my own special way of putting it all together. And I'm open to thinking about putting that out into the world. I'm open to beginning to share this with the world, even if it's in a small way. I'm ready to talk to one person about what it is that I'm passionate about. I'm ready to make one video, or write one story, or do one thing on the path of what sparks joy in my soul. And I don't need to make it public yet. I don't need to share it with the world. But I'm open to allowing that to happen, to allow myself to be ready for that moment. And each time I make the choice to take one step forward on my soul's path, to do one thing that makes my soul sing, it becomes easier and easier. And I let go of the fear. It just drops away easily and effortlessly. And I'm open to trusting myself and remembering that I really am valuable. And people need what I have to offer. And they're willing to pay for it. And I'm willing to give my best. Because I really want to help. I really want to share my gifts with the world. And I'm now open to this happening in the easiest and most gentle way possible, as my path opens easily and effortlessly. Good. And take a deep breath in. And go ahead and look at what you wrote down on your list before we started. And I want you to tune in again to each of those feelings, each of those statements. How strong does it feel if you say, I'm an imposter, I'm a fraud, 1 being the least, 10 being the most? How strong are those feelings of anger, sadness, grief, whatever it is that you came up with? Notice if you're feeling any more feelings of calm, joy, maybe something you didn't feel when we started this exercise. And go ahead and jot those things down. And again, I encourage you to come back and do this video over and over, because you're going to notice the effects are cumulative. And I'd love to hear from you what you experienced. Where did these numbers start? Where did they end? Go ahead and you can send me a message. You can go through my website, which is www.openhearthypnosis.com. You can send me an email, or you can leave a comment at the bottom of this video. You can just get in touch. I'd love to hear from you. What did you experience? How did this help you? And I hope to see you again soon, friend. Have a great day.